Hi everyone, thanks for joining me here on Facebook Live. I'm Dr. Alexis Conason. For those of you who don't know me, I am a clinical psychologist. I'm in private practice here in New York City, and I specialize in helping people overcome issues around body image dissatisfaction and overeating disorders, and basically helping people get off the dieting, overeating, self-hatred roller coaster and start to live with more peace and joy in our bodies. And if you're interested in learning more about me and my program, you can sign up for my free 30-day starter course, which is the Anti-Diet Plan Starter Course. You can find the link on my website, drconason.com. And I'm just really excited to be here talking with you today about a question that I get asked all the time, which is, can we focus on weight while trying to heal our relationship with food? So if you're joining me live and you have any questions, feel free to write them in on the comments. I would love to hear from you, or just say hello. And I will remind you that we're going to be doing the shorter format today. We're experimenting with the 15-minute session. So if you don't have half an hour to dedicate to this session, don't worry. We're going to make it short and sweet. And I think that this is something that we can definitely cover in a shorter period of time. So like I was saying, this is one of the most common questions that I'm asked. Can we focus on weight while trying to heal our relationship with food? And I did a Facebook Live a few weeks ago which talked about, can we be body positive if we still want to lose weight? And I was thinking as I was preparing for today how those are similar yet I think different questions. So I absolutely do believe that we can be body positive and be on a journey towards self-love and self-compassion even if we still want to lose weight. And the reason is because it's very normal to want to lose weight. And when we, it kind of ties into today's topic, which is, can we focus on weight while trying to heal our relationship with food? Because, I want to just start off by kind of normalizing that, like, if you are struggling with feelings about your body and feeling not good enough about your body and wanting to lose weight, of course you are. We live in a completely fat-phobic culture that teaches us that our value is determined by the size of our clothes, by the numbers on the scale, that if we're smaller, we're more valuable, that we're valued based on our appearance, especially women. And those messages are ingrained deeply into our psyches from such a young age, I was just at the doctor's office with my daughter, who is not even turning 3, and he made a comment about her weight. So, children are getting these messages from as long as they can remember. As parents, we tend to internalize these messages. I think a lot of us say, well, my doctor is saying this, it must be true. And we, are just kind of told from every which direction that we would be better if we were smaller. So, if you want to lose weight, I completely get that. That's completely normal. And I think the key here is starting to recognize that while we might want to lose weight and change our body, because that's what our culture teaches us we need to do in order to be valuable, the problem really is not with your body. The problem is with our culture. So we can want to lose weight and still want to practice self-acceptance and body positivity, and certainly to want to find peace from the miserable cycle of, overeating and dieting and feeling, out of control around food. Of course, like, all of that can still be there. And we can recognize that weight loss is actually not the solution. In fact, weight loss is really the problem. When we, focus on weight loss, we are inherently working against our bodies. And this is really problematic because our bodies, as much as we try to fight them and we might feel that our bodies are not doing what we want them to do, our bodies actually have a ton of innate internal wisdom. I call this, in my anti-diet plan program, I call this our internal GPS. Like, our body has an internal navigation system that is guiding us to make choices around food. And this is a kind of well-groomed system that has evolved over, centuries and centuries, and really has a lot of power to help us regain a sense of control and peace in our relationship with food and feel better in our bodies without needing to rely on diet. So today's topic, can we focus on weight while trying to heal our relationship with food? I feel that if we focus on intentional weight loss, that is going to be a really big obstacle in terms of healing our relationship with food. And that is because I believe that healing our relationship with food involves healing our relationship with our bodies and with ourselves. So in order to truly, deeply heal, it's not just about going on another diet plan or finding another way to kind of try to outsmart our bodies or try to work against ourselves. It's about actually making peace with ourselves and accepting our bodies at whatever size they may be. Now, acceptance doesn't mean you have to like it. I think I've done a whole other topic. I've certainly written on that before. If you're interested, you can check out my blog. But, acceptance doesn't mean we have to like our bodies, but it means that we can, be compassionate towards ourselves and start to trust and honor and listen, most importantly, to this, innate wisdom that our body is sending us. And I really feel that when we are intentionally focusing on weight loss, so when we are doing things to try to pursue weight loss, we are at odds with our body. We're in conflict with our body. And when we're in conflict with our body, we can't listen to what our body is telling us because we are so worried about that end goal of losing weight. So, for example, if we are really worried about, the way that our body looks and we want to lose weight, and not only do we have the urge to lose weight, which we can kind of allow to be there without acting on it, but we are actually kind of, that urge is in the driver's seat. We are intentionally pursuing weight loss. And we might be trying to listen to our body, and our body says, I am really in the mood for pasta tonight. And there's that other kind of diet mentality voice that's really being kept alive by the focus on intentional weight loss that's going to say pasta, but I heard that pasta is going to make me gain weight. I should be following Atkins. I should be following a low-carb diet. And then this battle starts going on in our mind where we start saying, oh, I want the pasta, but I shouldn't have it. And we start, fighting against ourselves. And maybe for a certain amount of time we hold out and we don't have the pasta and we say, okay, you know what? Like, I'm going to be good today. I'm going to follow the diet plan. I'm going to try to pursue weight loss and ignore, the really important wisdom that our body is sending us. But ultimately, those urges from our body are really strong. They have been enforced by eons of evolution and, their survival mechanism. So, obviously, eventually that urge is going to win out. And probably after however long we can, eat kale salad instead of having the pasta that we truly want, you're going to find yourself, kind of like face down in a bowl of pasta, having eaten maybe not just even one bowl, but 2 bowls or 3 bowls, and feeling really out of control with our food, even maybe binging on pasta. And this is what's shown again and again to happen when we restrict certain foods, is that we end up eating in ways that feel really out of control with these foods. And that is what happens when we intentionally focus on weight loss. We might be able to feel in control of our eating for a limited amount of time to be able to say, I can follow this diet plan because, let's be honest, okay? If we are intentionally focusing on weight loss, what are we doing? We're dieting. And your body knows that. And if you think you can turn something like my program, the anti-diet plan, or mindful eating, or intuitive eating, and say, wow, this is a great program. I can use this in conjunction with weight loss because surely if I follow this plan, then I'm going to lose weight. The whole thing disintegrates because the foundation of these programs is listening, honoring, and trusting our body. And when we say our body is not doing what I want it to do, and I'm going to try to force it to do what I want my body to do, our body rebels. And we will be stuck in that cycle where we continue to feel out of control around food over and over and over again. The path out of that feeling of being stuck in cycles of around food that feel out of control is self-compassion and acceptance. And I do not believe that we can intentionally be focusing on trying to have our body be something other than what it is right now, while also accepting our body as it is right now and approaching our body with self-compassion. So I do kind of feel like the two ideas of intentionally focusing on the numbers on the scale, intentionally trying to lose weight, is going to interfere with healing from disordered eating and really truly healing our relationship with food. Now, you know, some people's weight does change as a result of changing their eating behaviors. That might be that their weight goes up, it goes down, it may not change at all. I really don't know. That's hard to predict, quite honestly, whose bodies are going to do what. But the key is trusting that our bodies do have that innate wisdom that we can, you know, kind of take a back seat to in some ways, and say, I'm going to truly listen to what my body is telling me and trust that my body is going to bring me where it needs to go. Now, like, I totally get that's scary as hell. Like, that's so scary to trust our bodies, especially when we've been indoctrinated to believe that our bodies are broken and that something is wrong with our body and that our body is failing us again and again and again. But it's really important to recognize that is the narrative we've been taught. We have a culture that is very invested on having us believe that our bodies are broken, and to invest all of our time and financial and emotional resources into, you know, being a cog in that machine, into just, you know, feeling preoccupied around our bodies and trying to change our bodies. And I know I've said this before, but I always, you know, think about, like, when we're so focused on changing our bodies, what are we not focused on? We are not focused on changing the world. We're not focused on changing the systems that keep us feeling not good enough. And I think that's where our energy needs to go, not being focused on weight loss, but being focused on, why are we taught to believe that we're not good enough in the first place? Why are we taught to believe that we need to change our bodies in order to be valued? Why are we taught to believe that some bodies deserve to be valued while others deserve to be marginalized and pushed to the side in the periphery? These, I think, are really the places where we need to be focusing our time, money, and energy. And I think the only way to do that is when we can free ourselves from diet culture and allow ourselves the space emotionally, the emotional real estate, to work on living a more meaningful, values-driven life that, you know, is questioning the things that we've been taught about ourselves. So while it's totally normal to want to lose weight because that's what we've been taught, and it doesn't mean like you're bad or not doing this right if you have that urge to lose weight, I think it's also really important to recognize that that urge is, you know, that desire to lose weight is not reality. That is a thought that has been kind of implanted in our brains by a culture that's invested on having us not feel good enough about ourselves and convincing us that we need all of these different, you know, magic potions and plans and pills and whatever to change and to have value in the world. So I think that we can have compassion towards our desire to want to lose weight. We can recognize feeling dissatisfied with our body and notice those thoughts, while also recognizing that that is not the path that is going to bring us happiness, freedom, or any of the things, you know, that we're looking for in terms of changing our relationship with food, our bodies, and really ourselves. So I think that while, totally normal, again, to want to lose weight, if we intentionally do things to pursue weight loss, it will be a big obstacle to truly healing your relationship with food, because you will be stuck in a place of continuing to fight against your body. And the path to healing is actually trusting your body and recognizing that your body is perfect just as it is, and how can we care for ourselves the best ways that we can in this moment. So that's it for today. Thank you everyone for joining me here on Facebook Live. And if you're watching the recording, thank you for watching the recording. And if you're interested in learning more about me and my program, the Anti-Diet Plan, you can check out my free 30-day introductory course. You can find that on my website, drconneson.com. And also sign up for my newsletter. I'm going to be launching an online program this fall that's going to dive way in depth into just a ton of, all of the topics that I've been talking about in these lives. And hopefully, I'm really hoping that this program will be a way for people to get started finding their way out of diet culture and back into their bodies in a way that feels joyous and peaceful and pleasurable, and start living a different kind of life where we're not so imprisoned by diet culture and feeling not good enough. So again, you can find that on drconneson.com. If you sign up for my newsletter, I'm going to be sending out some really exclusive bonuses and discounts just for my list members. That will be coming this fall. I'm going to be doing a small kind of soft launch this fall exclusively for my list members with some really exciting bonuses. So I hope you'll join me there and stay in touch. And I will see you next week here, Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook Live. Thanks for joining me. See y'all next week.